here's another question for the record. It's from Moed Katan Yud Ches, Amud Aleph, tractate Moed Katan 18a, and it's talking about the laws of cutting of mourning and whether you can cut your fingernails during that time. And Shmuel says that it's more lenient. He takes the more lenient approach. He says that you're allowed to cut your fingernails during mourning time, during Avelis. So Shmuel said this principle, the halacha, is in accordance with the statement of the more lenient authority in matters relating to mourning. So the Gemara now tells a story, and my question is, in general, when the stories of the Gemara, sometimes there are words, let's focus on this case. Sometimes there are words that are, it doesn't seem that they need to be there. It almost seems like they're put in deliberately to mess with you, like to make it more confusing. Like it doesn't need to be there, or if it needs to be there, maybe there's some hidden message. So on the outset, on the surface, it looks like it's just, trying to make it ambiguous and make you confused. But really, there's something behind it, and this is one of those cases. Okay, the story goes like this: it was related that something unpleasant happened to Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel. Now, here's the question that I have: is Shmuel and Shmuel the same person? It's probably easy to know, But so let's say it looks like they're not the same persons. Okay, let's start again. It was related. Something unpleasant happened to Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel. That is to say, one of his close relatives passed away. Shmuel entered to ask him the reason. He came to be Menachem Lamal, he came to console him. He saw that Pinchas's nails were long, and he said to him, "Why do you not cut them?" Pinchas replied, "If it were your relative who died, and you were in mourning, would you treat the matter so lightly and cut your nails?" And then the Gemara, whoever's authoring the Gemara steps outside and says, Pinchas's words were like an error that proceeds from a ruler. A pasuk in Koheles, Keshgaga shiyotze milifnei hashalit. Ecclesiastes 10:5. As soon as Pinchas said this, as he said, if it were your relative, as soon as he uttered these words, they came true, even though he didn't intend them. So shortly after Pinchas made this comment, something happened to Shmuel. One of his close relatives died. So Pinchas, his brother, entered to ask him the reason. Okay, the words in the Gemara are all Pinchas achu. Pinchas, his brother. Whose brother? It just says Pinchas, his brother. Okay, Pinchas, his brother, and I'll finish the story. Then Pinchas went to console Shmuel. Okay? And then Shmuel took his nails, apparently he cut them beforehand, and he cast them in Pinchas's face. That itself is kind of perplexing. Like, why would he do that? It's sort of like, he could just tell him the halacha is that I hold that you can cut them, or whatever. Backtrack on that. He took his nails and he cast them in Pinchas's face, and Shmuel said to him, "Do you not know the principle that a covenant is made with the lips?" In other words, do you not know that what one says influences future events? Okay. There's a few problems with this. Number one, Pinchas said, "What if it happened to you and your relatives passed away? You'd also wouldn't cut your nails." So Shmuel why didn't Shmuel tell him right away? Be careful what you say. You know it could come true. No, it just the story cuts out and waits, and he waits and waits until something happens, and then he cuts his nails and he throws them in Pinchas's face. It just seems like a weird thing to do for It just that's why it might be a symbolic story. If it really happened this way, it's just strange. Okay, that's a question. I didn't even think of that question. This came up right now. But the main question I had was an ambiguity. It says that Pinchas, his brother, came in. Now, in the beginning of the story, it said Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel. So it's already close to Shmuel. So, okay, Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel. It might not be Shmuel. It might be Shmuel. Okay? Might be Shmuel. But the thing is that it says Pinchas, his brother, came in. Why doesn't it say Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel, came in? Or, if you already established that he's Pinchas, Achu de Shmuel, why don't you, if that's his title, Pinchas, Achu de Shmuel, that's his title, right? So why don't you just stick with that the whole time? Why does it go Pinchas, his brother, came in? Because when you say Pinchas, his brother, it's like you don't know whose brother it is now. You could say, oh, we said before Shmuel, but if you're just reading it quickly, Pinchas, his brother, it could be like Pinchas, Shmuel's brother. No, it wouldn't be Shmuel's brother. I'm just curious as to why it says Pinchas. Why is it important that he's the brother of Shmuel? Just say Pinchas came in. Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel. If that's his title, keep that the whole time. Pinchas Achu de Shmuel. Or, if it's not important that he's the brother of Shmuel, then just call him Pinchas. But why do you say Pinchas his brother? It's confusing because you could think you might not be sure whose brother it is. Pinchas, because we already said Shmuel and Shmuel, and you're like Pinchas' brother came in. If it happened to you, okay. I mean, he could be the brother of Shmuel, Maybe he didn't know about Shmuel's sock, and I don't know. It's just and maybe it was Shmuel's brother-in-law, who passed away. Not necessarily Pinchas' relative. I mean, Pinchas could have been Menachem Abel. I mean, the main point is that it leaves it vague, and I'm wondering why the Talmud would do that, leave it vague. And just say Pinchas, his brother, and not say Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel, or just say Pinchas. If it's not important to say Shmuel, then just say Pinchas. And if it is important to say the brother of Shmuel, then say the brother of Shmuel the whole time. But it was Pinchas, his brother. Leaves it like a little bit vague. Leaves it vague. But there's other questions too, like we said before. Like, why did Pinchas throw it in his face? I mean, But the main thing is, why is it vague?